Okay, we write SW or...
So what you saw just now was Shrove Tuesday. Shrove Tuesday.
Huh?
Better known as Pancake Tuesday. This day marks the end of Carnival, or rather the beginning of Lent, which is a 40-day period of fasting right before Easter. The reason for this tradition is to have one big last meal before the Lent and the fasting starts. That's why we use up all our sugar, milk, eggs, all those nice things and make pancakes. And in the spirit of Carnival, some people also have like a silly hat contest while having the dinner of pancakes. So obviously I really dug in. I had like 3 huge, fully stuffed pancakes, some sweet and some savory, as well as drinks and other snacks. You know how it goes. But now, why exactly am I telling you, and what does that have to do with the title? Well, nowadays the Lent fasting has definitely changed compared to how our ancestors in medieval times would do it. So a lot of people either fast alcohol, cigarettes, social media, or even sweets, that kind of thing. And I'm also going down a similar path, so no sweets and no doom scrolling, not social media as a whole, but rather things like Instagram Reel, YouTube Shorts, TikTok, even though I haven't been on that app lately as much. But you get what I mean. Now where it gets interesting are the few days right at the beginning of fasting and right before Easter. Because actually for the last 3 years or so, I've been doing this thing where just as Lent started, I would do a full fast. And last year I also did it in the beginning and the end, so before Easter as well. I'm going to do the same thing again this year. Which means the first day of fasting is always a Wednesday. And so I thought maybe I could even do the full 5 days of Wednesday to Sunday. My longest time of fasting, I think must have been 3.5 or 4 days. So I really want to push myself and put one more load on that. So I'm not eating for the next few days. That means nothing but water, black coffee, tea, maybe broth, which I personally don't see as breaking fast. But wait a moment, isn't food like necessary for, I don't know, survival? Well, yeah, obviously. But fasting for a short period of time can have a lot of health benefits. I mean, I fasted before for different reasons. For example, one day when my gut just wasn't feeling very good, or when a busy schedule wouldn't make time, like I said, for Lent, or even a little rewind before the Advent time before Christmas, but never longer than like 3 or 4 days. The thing is, a big part of fasting is ketosis. This feature only starts 3 or 4 days into the low-carb diet. I'm sure most of you have heard about the keto fast by now. So actually the first day is already pretty much over, and I must say I'm fine. Like, I did get a little bit hungry around midday, like 1:30 p.m. Like, the main thing with me is that I do a lot of boredom eating, so I just have to keep myself busy, do some stuff, and remember to always drink enough water, because I really have to get used to this part of the whole thing. But I did manage to nearly drink this 1.5 litre bottle of water, as well as this huge cup of tea. I will try better the next day.
Huh?
Hello and welcome back to my What I Eat in a Day fasting edition. Thanks for watching. So as for yesterday, the first day, I definitely didn't drink enough. And even today, not going too good. I did drink my 1.5 litres. I did yesterday, but that's just about it. And it's already 20 past 5 p.m. But on the bright side, I wasn't too hungry today. I did get a little bit peckish around midday, but that was just about it. Kept myself busy, I slept in, drank some water. If you hear anything in the background going, it's my cat. What I really noticed today, even though it's only the second day, is that I'm much more tired and sluggish. The first 2 to 3 days are usually the hardest, and that's also what I experienced the last times I fasted. Since here your body is still used to the old eating patterns, or you know, just food in general. Last year I gained some weight and I couldn't really get it off again, so I just wasn't feeling confident in my own body. Things like uni stress or messy day rhythm kind of led to me only having one proper meal after work in the evening, which in itself is fine. I've quite gotten used to the idea of intermittent fasting, and I think it really suits my schedule. But the thing is that after that one meal, I kept on snacking on a lot of things, especially sweet stuff, and especially the weekends where I didn't have that work or uni during the day. It was just a mess. So this prolonged fast will prove that most of the time I eat just because of appetite or lust, not because I actually need the food. Self-control is definitely a big part of this challenge to reduce this habitual cravings. Of course, these few days won't be enough to lose some actual weight, especially in the long run, and there is much more to getting in shape apart from just the diet, but it's a big part, and I want to use this just as like a kind of mental and physical reset. I just wanted to give a quick evening update because I'm drinking some broth right now, and I also nearly finished off this 1 liter bottle of water. I'm already 3 days into this fast, so let's talk about some of the benefits. Orthostatic hypotension. That's when your blood pressure drops. I personally never had an issue with blood pressure, but that might be an argument for someone else to try. As I mentioned before, in order for this not to turn into a problem, it's important to always stay hydrated. Mineral water and electrolyte supplements can help with that. So fasting can lower your heart rate and combat stress. But warning! If you have a pre-existing heart condition, be aware of the fact fasting can have on your body. And healthy or not, should you plan on fasting for a longer period of time, please consult with a health professional first and do everything under supervision. Another benefit is the cleanse. Your body gets rid of toxins and waste, and cells get renewed. It's thought that fasting is particularly effective at increasing autophagy, which is important for preventing neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's. I can really tell that my body is getting much more used to the lack of food. Although I was very sluggish this morning going through town, I feel much better now afternoon and evening. I drank 2 liters of water, 1 coffee, and just now I made this 1.5 liter jug of broth, which is just a teaspoon of broth powder. By now, ketosis should have started in my body. That's the act of using stored fat cells and burning those for energy. All that evolution finally has its use. Only that I'm not actually in the wild nature hiking for days in search for a place to settle without food. Hashtag 21st century privilege. Big factor of fasting, time. Do you even know how much time we spend thinking about food, planning meals, grocery shopping, preparations, cooking, eating, cleaning the kitchen and washing the dishes? Well, I don't, but it's definitely a lot. As for today, I think my drinking has been fine. Actually pretty similar to the last few days. I think I just really have to train to drink more in general, fasting or not. Not so much hunger, but like a lot of appetite. I'm really excited for Monday to have my first meal again. And 2 times, my stomach was actually even gurgling. From this fasting, not just the 5 days right now, but the entire 40 days up until Easter, I also hope for some mental clarity. It's like mental as well as physical meditation. And oh my god, I'm so excited for Easter now. To be with my family, to celebrate up all the good food, to go to church and all that. Like, oh, yes. I'm telling you, once Christmas is over, I'm looking forward to Easter. And once Easter is over, I'm looking forward to Christmas. I am actually not hungry anymore. This feeling has faded since about what I imagine being ketosis, since my body is now eating what it already had. When your body is mainly reliable on carbohydrates, all that fat from foods, which could be used for energy, is then stored. That then leads to weight gain. This one-sided metabolism is the root of the dietary myth that carbs make you fat. Well, yes, but actually no. Like I just said, it's most likely an overload of carbs, and too much of anything is never good. Balance is key. Now, metabolic flexibility is when your body can easily switch between carbs and fat for fueling. The modern diet is quite heavy on carbs, so fasting once in a while or doing a keto diet can adjust the body again to using fats for energy. Now, although I do look a little bit leaner now than I did 5 days ago, I didn't actually lose a lot of weight. For losing actual weight and not just water weight, it's important to maintain a healthy and balanced diet and incorporate an exercise regime. And don't expect results after 1 or 2 weeks. Your body needs time, so it could take months. And speaking of exercise, remember that during a full fast, your body is very weakened, just like mine was. So the 2 hours at the gym for 6 days a week is most likely not sustainable. So I must admit, after the museum trip, I got a chai in town and I was expecting tea. Well, guess what? I got a chai latte. But then I thought, since it's the last day of fasting and I did so well, I treat myself. Only to then get a cup of foam. Ah, I was disappointed to the max. Now it's only 17 o'clock and I still got a few hours of the day. But as I'm closing down on this fast, the important thing to remember is that once everything is over, I don't just immediately jump back to my old eating habits. So I'm gonna have probably some cottage cheese or something like that in the morning, then relax, do some intermittent fasting, and then have a proper meal in the evening. And after all, I still got 35 days of actual fasting up until Easter, so it's still no sweets for me. And hopefully some of those habits will stick even after Easter. Maybe you learned something from this video or even got motivated to try it yourself, either a full fast or just a minimal fast. Or even say, hey, I don't want to take something out of my life, but rather put something good into it, which is just as good. I've said everything I can say, so happy Lent, thanks for watching and see ya!